pretty quick for me. So anyway, so we're pretty warmed up now. Let's start talking about playing by ear. So let's see here. Okay, so one of the first things about playing by ear that you want to think about is when I started learning playing by ear, when I first started playing guitar, one of the first things that I ever figured out by ear was Bob Marley's tune, Redemption Song. It has an intro. And I remember when I figured that out by ear, it dawned on me that all I was really doing was it was just trial and error. I had no idea about scales. I had no idea about any of that. Didn't know many chords, but I knew that I wanted to play that little intro. I forget what it is, but it's just a little simple kind of intro. And it dawned on me that playing by ear isn't anything you're necessarily born with or that you're incapable of doing. Playing by ear is really, at first, the simplest thing that I could think of is it's really just a form of trial and error, where at first, before you know your scales, before you can kind of eliminate some notes, what you can start doing is just rewinding that tape or the CD or whatever, and playing a note and trying to match pitch. Is that note right? Is that note right? And that's the first thing of playing by ear, is to match pitch, to really be able to hear a note, hear it in your head, and then figure it out on your instrument. And I really don't want you to be overwhelmed or intimidated by playing by ear, thinking that it's something that's only a certain select few can do, because I started playing guitar at 16 and I had no idea what I was doing, but it hit me that this is something that I can do. It's really just a form of trial and error, and sticking to it and rewinding that 1,000 times if you need to really nail down each note and match each note. So that's what we're going to start doing. But in this lesson, I really want to show you, over the years of me playing, I've learned that scales, and the major scale, most importantly, can really eliminate a lot of your note choices. So you're not having to choose, the entire neck of the instrument. So let's go ahead and flip back here to this angle. So when you look at the neck and you're figuring out something by ear, you might get overwhelmed with all of these notes. Well, what I'm going to do today is we're going to stick in one key. We're going to stick in the key of C. And we're going to stick in one position. We're going to be on our 5th fret. So immediately now we've eliminated the entire rest of the neck, and we've eliminated a lot of notes even in this one position, because we're going to be in one key. So that's what you really want to start doing to play by ear, is not just search out notes and is it every single note you have to think of is a possible choice. Find the key of the song, and that'll be kind of difficult at first, but once you know the key of the song, you want to know the major scale. So these are things that you can practice, right? You can practice memorizing the major scale. So that is the first thing we're going to do here. So if you have your Dobro ready, let's learn some major scales here. Okay, so the C major scale, remember, we're staying in the key of C, and we're not worried about any other keys right now. We're focused on the key of C. Okay, and we're going to learn it one octave at a time, and I'm going to show you a few different ways of learning this and of thinking about this scale, to where you don't necessarily have to always play it like, right? Just like a scale, you can start sliding into notes. So let me show you a few different ways of playing this scale. Okay, first of all is just the standard way of playing a one octave C major scale. And first of all, let me tell you this, it's not just C major. This is a movable pattern. So once you learn it in C, then you go through your chords. G, A, B flat, B, C. These are all shapes that once you learn one shape, everything that I show you today is totally movable, and you can move it into whatever key you want by just moving to the different chord positions and taking everything I show you today and moving that as well to the different chord positions. Okay, let's learn a C major scale. Here we go. 5th fret, 6th string, That's our 1. I'll put numbers to these two. And then we go 7th fret, 6th string. There's this, that's the note D. Then we move up to our 5th string, 5th fret, E. That's the note E. 6th fret for F. 7th fret for G. I'm sorry, 5th fret. 5th fret, 4th string for G. Excuse me there. And then 7th fret for A. 4th fret for B. And back to 5th fret for C. So my suggestion is to get that memorized. C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C. And play it backwards. So those are just things that you really want to memorize. But I can already tell, you know, from teaching a lot of people, that a lot of people have trouble with this, and it's not easy to do, right? It's not easy to play. That's not that's kind of technically challenging, I think, for a lot of people. So what I've done is I've come up with my own way of simplifying the major scale, to where you just think about it as here's your C chord, here's your position, and it's as simple as sliding up to the next note. Okay, so check this out. Let's start with my 1st string, 5th fret, and we're going to slide up to the next note of the scale. We're going up 2 frets, sliding back down, and that's what you want to practice. Just that sound, 2 frets up and then back. And know that this is your position here, 5th fret. Okay, on your 2nd string, you're sliding 1 fret up. Try to get a good tone there. Tilt your bar up if you want. It'll reduce a lot of noise. And then on your 3rd string, you're sliding 2 frets. So as you look at this, it's 2 frets, 1 fret, 2 frets. Okay, now that's in front of the bar. Sliding behind the bar and then back is 2 frets. Go to your 2nd string, 2 frets. And 3rd string, 1 fret. So knowing that, you know the dobro is GBD, GBD. So whatever you learn on these 3 strings, you can apply to these 3. So now we start to see the pattern here. 2 frets up, come back. Go to your 5th string, 1 fret up, back, and 6th string, 2 frets up. Just like that. Same thing when you're going behind the bars, just like these 3 strings. 2 frets behind the bar on my 4th string. 2 frets on my 5th string. And 1 fret. So now you can start seeing the shape of the major scale as opposed to just this highly technically challenging. You see something that's useful, you know, immediately useful. And it's super, super easy to do, right? So it's a totally different way of thinking about the major scale, and it totally works no matter what key you're in. So just get used to sliding in front of the bar, and also get used to sliding behind the bar. Okay?